Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings III Tours and Tournaments. So last episode, I got a lot of criticism for the way I was conducting one of the wars due to the fact that our character was brave, and that didn't really seem like the way a brave character would fight a conflict. However, I was a little confused by this because we weren't leading our troops. So we were never the general in any of these wars so far, frankly, because our king is terrible. His advantage is +9, and most of that's come from the leading one's own soldiers. Our marshal is ridiculously low. We just aren't very good at that. In fact, our character is really not good at much of anything outside of intrigue. So is his learnings all right, and his prowess isn't too bad either. But you know, the other main stats here are pretty low overall. But yeah, we weren't leading our own troops, so I don't really think our character's traits should have any effect on the way an army which is not under our control is acting in a war. Now, some people responded that, you know, we're still the king, we're still an overall command of the army, and that's true, but, you know, we're in the Middle Ages. You can't just hop on the radio or the telegram and contact your general. Communication is incredibly poor in this time. Even if you're fighting over here, just to get from Toulouse to over here could take weeks to go there and back, simply because, you know, the roads are so bad, and the army's also maneuvering. You don't know where it's at a lot of times, so you got to find it. So by the time the king's orders, or I guess the duke in this sense, by the time the duke's orders got to the general, the situation on the ground could completely be different. And then by the time his message got back, it was just not practical to be trying to lead your troops from your capital city rather than in the army. And this is one of many reasons why kings did generally lead their own troops. Not always, and when they did lead their troops, if they weren't, very martial-minded, weren't very competent, they would have a sort of advisor who is actually making most of the decisions. Of course, in this game, that's not, a possibility. We only have the one leader. It would be nice if there were multiple leaders, like in CK2, where you had like the leaders of the flanks. So that'd be kind of cool if they had multiple leaders for each army, but they don't. So we can't really represent that. We either put our really terrible character in charge and have a low chance of winning any battles, or put somebody else in charge. So when we're not leading the army, I don't really think our character trait should have any effect on how that army acts. Alright, so the other thing I wanted to show here is that I did name this knight based on one of your guys' suggestions, which we did get a lot of potential name suggestions. The one I went with is Knight of St. Lazarus. So I like that one. Obviously the Order of St. Lazarus was formed during the Crusades. Now, he did suggest that we name all the knights, any knights we might have, after knightly orders. Probably won't do all that, but for this one, yeah, Knight of St. Lazarus, I think this is pretty fitting. Alright, so let's go and continue this conflict. We need to move our troops over here and take this location. We defeated those armies, they're on the retreat. And so now we'll take this barony, and that might be enough, because we'll have complete control here. We're not getting the war score from held objectives because we don't control the actual full county here just yet. So this might be enough. 6 months, we'll see. If not, we can come over here, or we might have to defeat their army again, because I assume they'll be over here. So we've been invited to a hunt on one of our counts right over here. So yes, we will definitely participate in that. And I didn't show the trait that we got here, the hunter trait, increasing prowess, stress loss, and opinion of hunter characters, and our trait experience. And so I really like that you can see how far away you are from leveling up. It's basically 50 experience to get to this first level here, which will increase the bonuses we're getting, and then another 50 experience for a total 100 experience to get to the second and final level. But then you also have the Falconeer as well. So yeah, I really like how they've changed up the traits there. So we'll definitely be participating in this hunt. So let's go ahead and join it. We'll have to travel there much further than we did our former hunts. I don't think we need any travel options or anything like that, though. We're passing through one area that's pretty dangerous, but it happens to be the area where the hunt is. There's no avoiding it. Alright, so we got our caravan master. Here's our current entourage. It is good to get a bodyguard. Kind of hurting on money right now, though, so we're not going to hire one. But we might want to appoint a bodyguard at some point. So we set off to participate in this hunt. Generally, you usually get about 15 experience for hunts. Now, we did not choose what we wanted to do here. Currently set to recreation. Well, let's do the I also want to do the Slay the Beast. Could also attempt to befriend somebody as well. Let me just see if there's anybody here. Just the mayor is currently the only one we could befriend. Might want to recheck that though, because I think it's not everybody's here yet. Yeah, we'll do the Slay the Beast again. As you guys seen, we already lose stress just from participating in the hunt. Alright, so we got a new intrigue perk. So let's go with the prepared for anything. We know that somebody's attempting to assassinate us, so that'll make that less likely. Also, we have a secret, when we killed our brother. And so, anybody could find that secret out, including our vassals, and try and get a strong hook on us. Alright, so we have arrived, but I think it's a couple days before everybody else will get there. It's just us and the mayor. Is this just like a buddy hunting trip or something? Nobody else gonna get there? Alright, so yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be us. That's interesting. Well, we have a good chance of being the one to kill the beast. Alright, so we won't read all these because we already read them and there's not a whole lot of new information here, just what we're hunting today, and that's a wolf. So we'll see if we can't kill the wolf. Be successful. It is hunting wolves are more hairless. Away from the others, I came across a cottage housing one of the most beautiful people I have ever laid my eyes on. She has invited me to stay and rest, and I'm surprised by how much I have in common with a simple peasant. Must you return to the hunt so soon, my lord? I've never met a man like you before. Alright, so we can say perhaps I could stay just a little longer. We'll lay with her, but decrease the chance of being successful in this hunt. We would lose stress, though. Or we can say that would be utterly inappropriate. We'll get the resisted advances, increasing our opinion with theocratic rulers of the same faith. We get 50 piety, and we'll lose stress because we're diligent. And that's what I think we're going to go for, because as a diligent character, again, I feel like whatever we're working on at the time, that's going to be the thing that we're focused on. We got to stay focused, guys. Can't let ourselves get distracted by a beautiful woman here. So yeah, we're going to go with that option. Now, I do, in these roleplay series, I often don't do the seduction stuff as much as I should. I generally only do it if I get, like, a lustful character. But, yeah, we probably should do it more often if we don't have a character that wouldn't do such things, like a chase character. But, yeah, I never do, probably because I'm a married man in real life. So, I just don't even think about the fact that, we're a duke, or whether we're playing as a king or emperor or whoever. Men in powerful positions generally are pretty loose with their marriage vows. My vassal, Mayor Nicholas, signals across the highlands. The whole wolf pack crouches in a hollow not far off. The beasts bolt up upon our approach, howling the alarm as they retreat into the leafy bushes, fangs snarling. Count Guilhem takes off after the beast, crying, "Come," is getting away. Looks like we also found some tracks here. That increased our hunter trade experience gain and increased the success chance and got us some prestige. So let's see if the count is successful in cornering the beast. So they are going to attack us here because what choice do they have? Alright, so cornering the wolf, we can hardly keep up with the blasted beast as it darts and weaves through the sparse pines, howling wildly, scaling a rise and disappearing into a dense thicket. The wolf is gone as quickly as it appeared, with only panting dogs and sweaty horses to show for it. The damn thing is gone. So the hunt fails, and this is generally what you see on most hunts. We were successful on that last one, but you're often not successful. And I'd say that's realistic. I'm not a hunter myself. I've never even been hunting before. I'm a city boy. I grew up in the city and spent most of my life living in the city outside of when I was in the army. So I've never been a hunter, but I know a lot of hunters, and they say that you're often not as successful as you'd wish. But you see, we did get some more experience. We're at up to 30 now. So yeah, it wasn't a successful hunt, but we did gain that experience, and now we're on our way home. All right, let's see if there's anything here we actually need to be aware of, just that we can declare war on the Duke south of us. And our counselor was slain in this battle. Okay. So I'm not sure which counselor that was. That was our steward. Okay, so we need to appoint somebody else here. We have two powerful nobles who are not currently in a position. This is actually, I think that's the count that was just in that that hunt. So we could go him in place. He's got a pretty good stewardship. And then there's our half-brother, and that's kind of his best position as well. His intrigue, this character's intrigue, is the same level as this guy. But he would make a good chancellor. When did that happen? I guess he's gregarious. I don't recall him having a good diplomacy. Maybe he did. But yeah, he clearly needs to be moved. Yeah, we're going to want to move him, but we'd have to get rid of our brother. Maybe we'll just wait till one of these other characters dies. So let's just appoint this guy for now. Could also put our brother in charge. Our half-brother. He at least has some position, though. He's the master of the hunt. Alright, so once this battle here is finished, that might be enough to win if we capture somebody, but yeah, we'll probably have to continue the siege. But with that battle being a victory, that should be enough. So the siege is all we have to do. So of travels to come. So this is one, again, we've seen before. I told you guys we'd see this a lot. And so we can just keep on burning these people. Now, one final note about this zealous trait. It seems like we've been talking about it a lot in this Let's Play. Somebody correctly pointed out that while I did talk about what I didn't think the zealous trait represents, I never did explain what I think it does represent. So for me, it's somebody who strongly, passionately believes that their interpretation is the correct interpretation. Their religious, in this case, religious interpretation is the correct one, and is completely unaccepting and intolerant of any other interpretation or faith. And just look at the opposite trait for zealous. It's cynical. It's somebody who questions their faith, so they don't strongly believe in their faith. It's somebody who's also, just based on this game here, on the way CK3 treats it, they're also more accepting of other faiths. And just because you're zealous and you strongly believe that your faith is right, that doesn't mean that you follow your faith. You can definitely be a hypocrite. I know you've got to have met these type of people in real life. I certainly have. One person comes to mind when I think of the zealous trait. It's a relative of mine related through marriage, so related to my wife. Now, she's Christian. She's incredibly religious. She goes to church every Sunday. She goes to Bible study multiple times per week. She practically knows the Bible by heart. She's very intolerant of other faiths. She's the type of person who's constantly railing against Muslims and Jews. She's greedy. She's done some horrible things in the name of greed. She's not compassionate or caring. She doesn't really seem to care about anybody else or their feelings. She's just a bitter old woman who just is nasty to people. And yet she's zealous. She's absolutely a zealous Christian, despite the fact that she's not really living up to the preachings of Jesus. So that's my interpretation of zealous. I don't think it should be tied to virtues, because those are already in the game as their own traits. And that's the interpretation we're going to use. I think it also is the interpretation that the game uses too. So I know that there are several people, quite a few people who seem to disagree with me on this interpretation. But that's all I'm going to talk about regarding zealous, guys. This is the one we're using for the Let's Play. So we're going to stick with this interpretation because I think it's the one the game uses as well. So we won this battle. We got 86% from that, so that might be enough with the siege. And we have a ride back home. Excellent. We can look at the details for that battle, see how our knights did. It looks like our acclaimed Knight of St. Lazarus was the best. Not surprising, he does have the best prowess of all our knights. And just looking at the event here, we know that the Count was killed in this battle. And so that was here. And so this is who's taken over for him. So that's his son. I didn't realize he was so old. An adult son. Alright, so the siege is just about done here. And we got a new, really good commander. Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. Not a good knight, but a very good commander. Okay, so yeah, maybe a character we want to have lead our troops if we trust him. He's a guest, so we'd have to hire him. Do we want to do that? He's extremely expensive, so no, we do not. We do not. Alright, so with the siege finished, that is the end of the conflict. So let's go and enforce our demands and take this title here. We'll also disband our troops. And I thought we'd get the barony in addition, but looks like there's already somebody currently holding it. This character here is the Baron. So we don't have to appoint the barony to anybody, but you can see we do have too many holdings now. So let's go ahead and get our marshal. Well, I was going to increase control here, but we got to let that update first before we're able to do it. Maybe give it to the end of the month, and then we should be able to appoint him. His control is currently sitting at 0, so we're going to need to raise that up. So we have to give out one of these titles. Now we do have a year before we have to do so. You'll notice we got a lot more buildings in this one. It'd probably be wise to get rid of this one here. Now, obviously this one's making more money in levies currently because, you know, there's no control here. But I think in the long run, this one's going to be a more profitable location. They have the same development. So what we'll probably want to do, because we're not getting any bonuses from this location yet, let's just wait until we no longer have this bonus here, so the 8th of July, 1 year away from when we got it, and keep getting the benefits from this location before we hand it out. And that'll give us some time to get the control up here. So let's just see. Yeah, we don't need to do that. See if there's anything here that we need to be aware of. Nope, seems like we're good to go. Though we do need to arrange a marriage for our brother. So let's go ahead and do that. This young man needs a spouse. So we're going to find him a wife. We want him to stay in our court, so it can't be a leader. Likely we'll go with somebody who would produce a good alliance, which let me just see if there's anybody around this area that we might want to ally to that has a daughter that's not married. There's the Count of Anjou here. His daughter's very, very young, so you have to wait a long time. We can see if it would be accepted. Even with the grand wedding, we couldn't get the acceptance. Obviously, they want a matrilineal marriage since this is his heir. Alright, so that wouldn't work unless we just wanted to get an alliance and then go for the younger one. But then our brother has to wait even longer. I mean, he's 26 years old. I think that's just too long to wait. Champagne here, this is just a boy, but he does have a sister. She's a hunchback. Scarred. Wonder how she got scarred so young. There's Flanders. He's moved to attempt to be the king in a rebellion at least once that we've seen here. But he doesn't have any family members, it looks like, that are available for marriage. See, I'm not seeing any alliances that make a lot of sense right now. And of course, this is our family here, so can't, well, I mean, you can do a marriage there. There's Navarra, so I suppose that would be an option. Again, very young children here, though. So let's look for somebody closer to our brother's age. Go ahead and find him a spouse. And we're going to want somebody who's probably within 10 years. That's what I'm thinking, so you don't have to wait too long. Maybe within 15. We'll go with 15 years. No older than 25, though. Fertile and healthy. Not lowborn. And then we'll see if there's any good alliances here. Yeah, not really. Not any high-level alliances. So, since that's not really an option, we'll go for the traits. We'll see if there's any inheritable traits. So there are 2. Both of them are the beautiful, you know, attractive route here. So she's Dutch and she's French. She's a wanderer. So her father isn't anybody important. She's a miracle worker. Interesting. She's pretty good stat-wise. Intrigue. That could be risky, bringing her into our court. Yeah, both of these characters are actually quite skilled. Yeah, not bad at all. So maybe we could just go with one of them to kind of get an inheritable trait into our family. Because, yeah, there's really not any other thing to consider if there's no alliances and no potential inheritances. I mean, I can look over here in England and see if there's anything available like in Normandy or whatever. You got the Duke Edward of Normandy here. He's only 17, so no children of his own. With Brittany, got a 9-year-old girl here. Yeah, this is a bastard, so the 9-year-old girl is set to inherit, but we're probably not going to accept this marriage, guys. Let's just clear this and see if they would accept it. No, it's even less likely than in Anjou. So yeah, no good marriages for succession either. You look across the borders in the HRE here. We got a duchess who has a lot of territory and doesn't yet have a husband. But if we arrange the marriage, our brother would eventually move over to there. And they wouldn't be willing to accept this anyways. Again, unless we did the matrilineal marriage. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything, guys. So we'll just do that one marriage. It's fine. If we were willing to have them wait a long time, there's a intelligent character here, but yeah, we're not going to wait that long. We'll just do Emma. Yeah, we'll have her marry into the family. This will be accepted, and he's going to lose some prestige because, you know, this family's not really well known here. No reason to do a grand wedding. Let's go and send that proposal off. Just get her brother married. He needs a spouse. It's about time for him. And she accepted, as expected. And the king has bestowed royal favor on us, so we got some prestige there. And I think the next thing we're going to do now is pay homage to the king. So the king's been ruling for a while, and we have not yet paid homage to him. He's been in power for almost 10 years, or been ruling in his own right for almost 10 years, and we have not paid homage yet. So let's go ahead and do so. Again, this is pretty important for the renown. Renown can be difficult to get. And of course, from a roleplay perspective, it makes a lot of sense, because you would, pay homage to your king. You'd be required to do so. Shoot, even kings can be required to pay homage. The kings of England consistently were required to pay homage to the king of France for their for any titles they had here, whether it was Normandy or down here in this territory, Gascony. They consistently were required to, though they didn't always do what they were supposed to. Sometimes they refused to pay homage or sent somebody else to do it in their stead. But yeah, we have a few different options here. We can demonstrate submission, which means we're not really granting anything. Promise a favor, give contract obligations, or give gold, which generally is 50 gold. And I think that might be what we do. Give some gold. It makes sense. And, we're a good, diligent vassal. And this is also to apologize for taking so long to do our duty. We're busy. We're busy down here. So yeah, let's go and pay homage to our liege. So we'll have to travel all the way up there. This is going to take some time, 5 months. This is a long journey. We're going to want to avoid any really dangerous locations. And we are brave characters. You can make the argument we would not bother to change our routes here. Yeah, I guess we're brave. Maybe we just go whatever route is the fastest. We're not impatient, but we ain't scared. So yeah, we'll just go with the more dangerous route in this case. We still don't have a bodyguard, so that's something to consider as well. We got nobody to save our lives if something goes wrong. That's okay. I'm surprised with just how dangerous this path is. So yeah, let's go and start traveling. There's nothing else that we have to do with that. Let's get out on the road. And hopefully this long distance travel goes better than the last one did. So our brother is going to be taking over as our regent. I guess we'll have to take a look at that after this event here. Wolf struggle. Again, you see the same events over and over and over again. That's one of my biggest issues, is not just the frequency of the events for the traveling, but the fact that you see the same ones over and over again. So we get the choice to have Ansel help him, but I think we're going to go with the same option with before, because we're brave. We're going to do, this man deserves my help, and we have a 47% chance that we'll succeed, 52% chance that he's going to die. He'd make an okay knight. He's also disloyal. I wonder if this event always has disloyal characters. I don't know. And we beat the wolf, so we gained 150 prestige, and we now have a new knight. So this is that fruit event that I mentioned in the first episode. It fires all the time. It's kind of annoying. But since it's the first time we've seen it in this Let's Play, let's go and read it. Our road takes us through treacherous parts of La Salle, While I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling brush grabs my attention. Could it be a wild animal? As I brace myself for impact, Ansel jumps out of the bush instead, holding a plant. You scared me, Ansel. Anyway, let me see what you have there. Some kind of fruit? I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder what it tastes like. Maybe I'll just take a little bite, he says. So we have 2 options here. There's another option that can be available based on the traits you have, which we don't have access to. So we can say, hold on, what if it's poisonous? And in that case, we grab it from him, toss it away, and since we touched it, we're both going to get this unknown plant rash. It's a tiny penalty, but does reduce the attraction opinion, and we'll get 100 learning lifestyle experience points. Or we can say, let Ansel eat it, in which case he has a chance of getting a painful stomach ache, unknown plant sickness, minor penalty, reduces his prowess, so it really hurts him as a knight. And we'll gain learning lifestyle experience points just as we would here. Or it might be a good plan to increase his prowess and stress loss. So I've seen this event, I don't know, 20 times, a lot. And I've never seen any other option but it be a poisonous plant. Now, we are on the day 1 patch. The game is now officially released. As of this video, this will be the first of the episodes that's on the day 1 version of the game, so maybe they adjusted it, but my experience has been that it's always a poisonous plant, and thus it always results in this or this. So in this case, let's again go based off of our traits here. I don't know, brave character would probably grab it and throw it just in case. Yeah, I don't think it matters which one we go for, but this one will get the penalty, while this one just him would. But maybe it won't be. Oh, it's a harmless plant after all. See, I've never seen that happen before. So yeah, maybe because it's the day 1 patch, maybe they fixed it. Because it seemed like it was always a poisonous plant. Of course, it's going to make me a liar here in the, the first time we have it in the Let's Play. So this is going to be a consistent issue, I think. Our wife is going to be always calling us into these rebellions. So yeah, we're going to have to help her. So let's go and accept that. And we're going to be dealing with these travel events while also trying to fight a war. So it's going to be quite distracting. So I'm not sure if we read this one. No, it's about some blood-sucking insects. So the woods of Ventador are swarming with tiny, dark, blood-sucking insects. No matter what we do or where we go, they are there, leeching our life like a torturous cloud sent by Satan himself. Not only are the horses getting flighty and temperamental, but my entourage as well, especially my courtier, Valoran, who is furiously flailing his sanguine-covered arms. So because they push through, they are mere insects. We'll gain some stress. Wow, this is some really bad insects. We're going to get a tiny health penalty here. Or we can say, Valoran, strip down, you'll walk in the front. Yeah, that would be a cruel way of dealing with it. So yeah, we'll go with this one. Get a little penalty there. Well, yes, we need to raise our armies to help her out with this rebellion. How large is the rebellion? Looks kind of like a significant one. Yeah, it is. So unfortunately, we're going to again be outnumbered. So we'll have to see if we can get a win here. I guess we can raise it right there. Yeah, why not? All right, so let's get this on speed 3. Get our troops raised up, and then try and wipe out as many of these troops as we can while they're away from the rest of the army. Can't let them get all together, or else we'll have some severe issues here, though. I don't know if we can stop all these people from meeting up. We'll try. So going to move our troops down here. We're going to keep this guy in charge. Could, of course, bring the guests in, but he's just too expensive. It's not really realistic. And so this character's joining into the conflict against us. Wow. Okay, so now I'm not having a high chance of winning here. They have almost 2 times the troop numbers that we do. And this is one of all the unfortunate parts of having, your spouse ruling on these lands. And what's kind of frustrating is that it's not very accurate historically. So generally in the Middle Ages, when a man who held a title that was equal or greater than his spouse's title, he would often take that as his own lands. Like technically it's hers, but he would rule them for her. So like a good example would be Henry II with Eleanor of Aquitaine. When he married her, Aquitaine was her territory. It was rightfully all hers. She ruled it. But he took those lands from her and did not allow her to rule them, which, of course, would later cause a lot of problems in their marriage. Because once she had given him many children, she expected that she'd get to go back to Aquitaine and rule her territories. But Henry was not open to that idea. And that was actually quite common. So there's no option for that in this game. And I know that... it's a video game, so it's not going to represent everything in history, but it causes problems like this, where, we have our spouse here, and, we want our son to inherit the territory, and yet we have, like, two completely separate countries, essentially. There's no shared administration or shared rulership here, and so we can't do anything to avoid these rebellions. We just have to keep fighting them over and over and over again, and they're very likely to face them. So it's unfortunate. We've seen it many times in past campaigns, and often it's just better to wait until your spouse dies, and then you become the next character who has the claims, and then just declare war and take those for yourself using the claims that you have. It's unfortunate because I'd prefer to do it, as happened historically. He would inherit all these titles. Or at least our sons would inherit all the titles. They'd be sharing it out. But yeah, it's difficult to do that sometimes because your spouse has so much trouble holding on to the territory. And we're just not strong enough to help her right now with these very large rebellions that she has, because she's larger than us. She's more powerful than us. So yeah, we can't really do anything to avoid the rebellions. And we also can't really, fight them for her. But we'll try our best. What else are we going to do? So other people's pastures. So a fine day like this, the weather is nice. The pastures of Montargis look great, and the local livestock are positively jumping and cheering in their own guttural manner. Calves are walking next to their mothers, their fur shiny and clean. Overall, the place is very competently run, although I do notice a couple of oddities that I could manage a bit differently. The local matriarch approaches me. "A fine morning to you, my lord. Are these beauties not a sight to behold?" So we can say, I could apply some of this back home. This is a stewardship challenge, 54% chance we'd get the improved pastures, which is a pretty nice modifier to have. 45% chance that our advice is completely misinterpreted, and we'll gain a whole bunch of stress because we're diligent. But that doesn't mean that we can't do this one. It just means that we'd be upset that it's not done correctly because we're diligent. Let's see if we can't improve things around here. Is this even in our territory? I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're way up here. I mean, you can do that, and then they get the improved pastures, and then the Countess becomes our friend. Or we could say, I am sure Countess Hildegard can take care of her own pastures. 38 stress because we're brave. Yeah, we could do the stewardship challenge. Maybe we'll be successful. Maybe we'll go into critical stress level. We'll see. And it worked out for us. Okay, excellent. So that's a very nice bonus here. And maybe what we might want to go ahead and do, particularly now that we have this bonus here, is let's go and switch up our steward to no longer just collect taxes and instead go ahead and start increasing development. I was doing the collect taxes so that we could buy a few things, but yeah, with the wars and stuff, I mean, money's going to be a problem. So let's think in the long term and start increasing development in Toulouse, which is not very high. It's only 10. So let's start working on improving that. And it's a good time to do it now that we have that modifier. All right, so already you can see these armies are gathering into numbers that we would have difficulty defeating here. So another travel event, a lowly delicacy. On our way through Monteleri, I'm not sure if that's how that's pronounced, we appear to have stumbled into a local food market. Everywhere, peasants and nobles of every culture and tongue clamor around exotic food stalls. The air thick with fragrances I've never imagined. My nose is drawn to a lowly stall stacked with a dish I could only dream of. I'm pulled out of my haze by the halting grasp of Albert. Do not waste your palate on this slop, my lord. Bowls of stew are for peasants. We have much finer foods at home. It's one of our courtiers. So like I said, I am the Duke. I want my bowl of stew. So this is going to cost us 75 prestige. Though we would lose stress. 60% chance we'd lose stress and get the good meal. 30% chance that it would be a bad meal, 10% chance we actually get ill. Or you say, I can't believe I almost ate this garbage. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we're brave, so maybe we'd eat it anyway. Yeah, sure, let's eat it. And the food was amazing. So it worked out well for us. We enjoyed it. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll do another travel event. That's what we'll do. So this is one of the danger events as we're crossing through more dangerous territory. We're almost in Paris. Bandits on the bridge. Maybe we're on the bridge crossing into the city, actually. The soft rumor of the river we've been following for a while becomes stronger now. Some members of the entourage talk about making a short stop, get some fresh water, rest their feet. There's a stone bridge where the path turns. A couple of men rest with their backs against the parapet. One hits the other on the side and points at a group. A third man comes up with a shore. Another looks up to us after splitting into the river. You know, he says, this is actually a toll bridge. So it's bandits. So we can say, I understand, which we would not do that. We're a brave man. So we can say, brave of you to even suggest that. Ansel will show him, and then Ansel will deal with it. 74% chance of success. Or who do you think you're talking to? I am the Duke. An intrigue and prowess challenge. 55% chance that will intimidate them. Yeah, let's do that one. And the bandits don't believe us. And so we ended up having to pay 20 rather than 10. We finally arrived in Paris. King's not looking so well. He's all beat up. He's a fornicator. So we're now here to pay homage, and since this is our first time doing so, we'll go ahead and read the event. Servants usher me into King Philip's great hall in Ile-de-France, where he sits his throne waiting to hear my pledge. I kneel at the feet of my lord and pledge the many oaths of homage as his scribes record the event. My tenants then follow, presenting my rich gifts to the king before the assembled court. Philip bids me to rise and confirms his satisfaction along with my rights to the lands I rule in his stead. So I just noticed that this is not spelt the way it normally is spelt. Maybe that's Ile-de-France now because it has an S. Usually it's not spelled like that. But anyways, so this is the price of fealty. So we gained that 50 renown, again pretty helpful, and 350 prestige. Gave him that 50 gold, increased his opinion of us. See where he's at now. So +8 currently, largely indifferent to us. And now we'll start heading back home. Damn, I just can't get anything done, guys, because of all the travel events. The traveling is like the worst thing to be doing during a war. Okay, so can't beat those guys. Best chance is to probably beat them. What's the quickest way to get to them? And even that's, yeah, who knows. But what are we going to do? No matter what, we're outnumbered. We can try. It says we'll probably lose, though. Yeah, we could try it out. But yeah, we'll have numbers. Slightly, I think. And looks like they're coming up to us. That 2,700 might come down to destroy us as well. That's a real chance. So again, as I said, we see this event a lot. Duel demanded. It's often a woman too, which I think is interesting. I don't know if it's coded that way or if it's just by chance, but it's very commonly a woman that you'll see here in the duel demanded, which is kind of strange, of course, in the Middle Ages. Not what you typically see, but there were some female warriors. But again, it was pretty rare. I guess we'll just continue going with the same auction we typically do, even if we do have what looks like to be a pretty good chance of losing here. Yeah. We won the fight. Hey, we're getting pretty lucky with these travel events. Could be much, much worse. And looks like they are both going to attack us. Yep. Okay. So we should probably retreat, because we're not going to defeat their entire army of like 4,000 something dudes. So let's get out of here. Oh, and it looks like they will get us attacked. Oh, right here. We were not able to flee in time. And so now we're going to get our army wiped out here. Alright, well, I knew no matter what we did, we weren't going to win this. What I would have preferred to do is probably just come down and stay in the south here and just do sieges or whatever, but no, people would have said that would have been too cowardly, so we'll go ahead and throw our men into the fight and just see how it turns out. So as we traverse the woods, trudging through the mud, we encounter a modest wayward shrine. Naively carved, it sports a cross at its head and below the weathered words. Here lies Saint Elisabetta of Aquitaine, blessed daughter of Ventador. Saint Elisabetta of Aquitaine, it seems like a local spiritual figure, is being patronized in these parts, one not sanctioned by the Catholic clergy. So as a zealous character, we're very clearly going to want to say this option here. We'll get piety, and the Desecrated Tomb modifier, increasing clergy opinion but reducing popular opinion. And Count Guy here is going to be upset with us. So go with that option. We did get a level of devotion. All right, excellent. So we moved to faithful here. Sticks in the wheel. Slope, I hear Albert. Okay, so we read this one already. I believe we did. So we're going to say God's wounds are going to be late, and we're going to be delayed. This is just the return home, so it's fine. So yeah, once we get defeated here, it looks like Ansel got arrested. So is he fighting as a knight here while also traveling with the troops? Because I don't think he got... Yeah, this is not him being arrested here. Yeah, clearly he was doing both of those. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? So with the position of caravan master now vacant, so yeah, we have to pick somebody to lead, basically. They're all going to be poor options. And we're almost back home, and if we appoint them as caravan master, then they're going to be all irritated at us when we take the position away. And we're at least in our own territory now. I was trying to look at this battle here, but we have another event. So Flawed Fare. Valoran is in charge of our food supplies and sheepishly revealed our provisions are now all but useless, having been poorly stored. That's probably because we don't have a caravan master. Hatches of mold cover the bread and fresh produce, and we have quickly used up the remaining of our dried food. The party grows hungry as dusk begins to fall. So you can say it's just a bit of mold. 50% chance we'll become ill. We can instead say nature will provide for us. This is a learning challenge. 18% chance we die. 59% chance we get ill. Or the locals around here must have something. And yeah, we'll just start raiding the local county. Yeah, whatever. We'll go with this one. It's just a bit of mold. I don't know what happened there. Doesn't look like we got sick. So with our knights, and we got a lot of kills. Let's take a look at the events. See how our knights did against theirs. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they did pretty decent. Now several of ours was wounded. And of course Ansel was captured, as we already know. I think we have some people in our prison right now that have been in prison for a while. Yeah, you got these two characters. So you see if they're somebody you might want to recruit. This guy's decent. He's got the good marshal, and then he also has the open terrain expert. So yeah, he's okay, I suppose. We could recruit him. Why not? So recruit him. And then this character here, not all that impressive. Can't ransom him. Let's just get the we cook. He won't accept it. Is that the one who refused? Yeah. That's the guy who's been in prison 5 years. He's never getting out. So we do have a character here that could be ransomed. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and... Well, we'll wait until the money goes up then, actually. I was going to say it doesn't really matter what happens in this. We pretty much lost this conflict. And I'm not sure what it's over. Let me just see here. Okay, so it's another one where she'll be deposed again for the second time. And so yeah, I don't know if we'll do anything to put her back on the throne. We'll probably just wait until we take over as our son and then use those claims to get the territory back. Because if we put her back on the throne, it's just going to be this over and over again. We've seen this so many times in past series. It's a little bit different because it's a smaller territory, so should be easier to manage, and all you have to do is win one of these wars. There's a good chance that you win just one and you won't have to face any further rebellions. We have arrived back finally from that disastrous trip, and Regency ended, and the murder on us has been abandoned. So there's an attempt on our life. Traveling through the woods, my retinue was accosted by bandits. They are not after my gold, but attacked outright, sooner than I could order my men to kill them where they stood. The fighting was fiercer than expected, and what was worse, the thugs were clearly targeting me. Good thing none of them were left standing at the end, for their single-minded attack almost got the better of me. This was undoubtedly the work of that solitary sycophant. So, I thought she was dead for some reason. She's not dead. Well, now she's gonna be. You can challenge her to a fight. I guess we have to go through this event here first. But yeah, we'll be watchful, so it's gonna be more difficult people to assassinate us now. Lose 100 opinions, so yeah, we know it's her. Oh, there it is. It's just was underneath there. So yeah, we can challenge her to fight and she'd accept it. Wow. Okay, well, we're not gonna... I don't think it's very accurate to do a duel with a woman here in the Middle Ages, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna murder her. Or try to, anyway. Not a high chance of success here. But yeah, we'll do that, and... we could go ahead and attempt to find secrets first, seeing she's over here currently. So I could go ahead and try and find secrets. Because, yeah, I think it's just too low of a chance of success here currently. I mean, she's also... let me just see if we have anything here. Well, we have this guy. This could force him to join. But yeah, that's not even enough. Anyways, he's really against it. It's not her spouse either. Okay, so yeah, I can't get him involved. Nobody else is willing to join either. Okay, so let's just we'll try and find secrets. If we can't find any, then we'll just try and do the support schemes and see if that's enough. Maybe we'll just fail a bunch like she clearly did. So we'll just try it and fail. It's not like it's an important assassination here. It's just a rival that irritated us. Which we don't even care about her. This should be a one-way rivalry, honestly. And he's no longer bestowing royal favor on us. He just did it just to get us to pay homage. We did what he wanted. Alright, so the armies are all the way up in the north. That's 5,000 troops, so might as well just do some sieges down here. So yeah, work on this siege here. They're probably coming... Nope, they're going to do the siege of the capital. Okay, what you'd expect. So yeah, we'll just do the sieges. We threw our troops into battle. They lost once. That's enough, guys. That's enough. So I think we've improved his opinion enough. Let's go ahead and abandon that and improve opinion with somebody else. Let's go with probably this character here, our marshal. He doesn't really like us that much. So yeah, we'll sway him. 71% chance of success here. See if there's anything we need to be aware of here. Well, we got about another month left. How far did we get control up? Not high. But yeah, I think we will be giving this one up, and it's going to go to our brother. We already know that. So we'll let the month of June finish up here, and then we'll grant that to our brother. And I guess because we're not fighting battles anymore, we can go ahead and speed it up. But yeah, let's go and give this title to our younger brother. It's probably not going to be enough to make him a powerful vassal, because you know he is already on our council currently. Yeah, let's go and grant this title to him. And we'll have to take a look and see if he's... Again, he's probably not. He just has the one county. Yeah, it's still not enough. Currently, it's our half-brother who also has only one county. But if he died, he might become... Yeah, there's a potential possibility. Alright, so we'll just work on this siege here. And yeah, we've given our brother a title. So I like to give, brothers titles, additional sons, and knights. I feel like those are the most realistic characters for you to give it to in a roleplay series. So I often give titles to knights. And again, we're having royal favor bestowed upon us. So the king just can't make up his mind. So this is that powder event, where you just get they get the not feeling well. Good chance that they'll die. It's severe health penalty. We don't really have 20 gold though. Yeah, we really don't have the 20 gold. I don't want to spend any money on this, honestly. Yeah, she'll have no gold of mine. I know it might kill her or whatever, but... So the army has taken her capital. That was not enough to arrest her. Is she leading her own troops? She might be. She led them once before. 71% chance. We did improve those percentages there. I said chance, I meant war score. We did improve it with the siege here. We can go ahead and do this location next, I suppose, while they work on sieges. I guess they just don't want to march all the way down here. And we'll see if we get a seeker here. And then that's going to be the last thing that we do. Yeah, we'll keep on looking for seeker. We didn't find one this time. All right, so yeah, again, this territory is going to be lost. There's no way we're going to win this war. It's just far too many troops here for the number that we have. We just don't have very many troops at the moment. We need to spend money building up our army. So probably not going to do any more activities for a little while. Let's get the men-at-arms built up. Remember, we have not done much in that regard, as you can see here. We do not have anywhere near the amount that we could have. So we need to invest some money into our army, or else we're going to continue to have issues here. Because that was one thing with that previous war, guys. The reason why I didn't want to fight it is because I looked at the number of men-at-arms, and we had significantly less men-at-arms than that one army. They had a better general as well. So I think that even if we had combined with our wife's troops in that one war, again, I'm talking about in the previous episode, I think we still would have lost. I think it would have been close, but I think we still would have lost. Despite the close numbers, what really matters is men-at-arms. And they had a lot more men-at-arms than we did because it was a bunch of different rebels. And so they each had their own men-at-arms. So people were convinced that if we had combined our armies, we would have won. I don't think we would have, honestly. That's just my opinion. I think we would have lost. Just the numbers were too close and they had too many men-at-arms. So yeah, that's the reason why I was avoiding conflict in that previous one, and why we're just not going to do well in any war. So we really need to build up those men-at-arms, guys. So yeah, we'll work on that once this war's over, and unfortunately we'll just have to reconquer this territory later with our son here. It's now 2 years old, Raymond. It's not getting very far each episode with these travel events. They take up so much time reading through all those. And then, of course, these wars, which are just the same war over and over again currently. So that's unfortunate. But maybe next episode we'll make a bit more progress here. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, make sure you have a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.